thanks Rohit bhai for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting.
अरे come on, this is episode 3. ठीक है. So Shubh and अपना Shettyana ran through the interview. It was pretty candid actually. We are just going to talk a bit about cricket. We are just going to talk a bit about here and there. So coming to the first thing, first. Abhi to this concept of owners have arrived and everything, and obviously you are basically gonna be the owner for 3 tournaments, Independence, Republic, and this one. So how has been the experience so far as an owner?
Well, it's not much of a change, I must say. From the owner's perspective, it's cool to manage at least something little more responsibility, a little more fun than the regular come play, manage and go.
Okay.
So it is the retainership was pretty exciting, and for me it was quite exciting because I managed to save Shashwat and Yogesh.
Correct. I think yours retentions were on spot.
Yeah, because we will not get those people for that price again. So on those perspectives, it was quite exciting. A little more, something a little better than all these tournaments I've played before.
Any pressures as owners?
Pressures? No pressures.
No pressure, right? No, because often what happens is like in multiple teams, people want everybody wants an opportunity. Like everybody wants to be given opportunity as such. But I know as a team, when you're playing, you want your team to win first.
Definitely.
Everything else basically comes later aside and everything. And people often do experiment once they have qualified and everything. They do a bit of experimentation and such. From your point of view, in your team and everything, any pressure as such?
So I've been very conscious on this front. So I'm not someone who will say I'll give chance for everyone. It's not possible in tournament when you're being very competitive.
Correct.
That's exactly why I pick 4 or 5 2K players.
Okay.
So no, I'm not disrespecting the 2K players, but 2K players also come with the same expectation that they don't get to bat or bowl.
Correct.
At least in the opening.
Correct.
Anywhere after 6 down is fair. They can expect their chance.
Correct.
So that's why 4 or 5 2K players. Rest all top players.
And I think there are a lot of people who do not really go at a very high value and everything, but they bring in so much value to the team. For example, I must have played at least 2-3 games, not games, in fact, tournaments with Somik Dada. Okay. Now Somik Dada, he's not gonna be coming up like, dude, this is what I want, this is how it should be done. He'll be very active in the field, but at the same times, he has been the lucky charm for so many teams winning the tournament as such. And coming to the tournament aspect of it, how long have we known each other, Melvin bhai? I think it's been 6 years. When did you come to Ajmera?
2016.
2016. Yeah. And tell a bit about what you do on a professional level.
On a professional level, so I head the business development for a firm. So we are exactly like Ola, Uber, but for only corporates.
Okay.
So this is my professional stint. And before this, we started Laundry Anna. So we were doing that for a bit. We did our own gig, and now we made that as a secondary. And primary, both of us, 2 partners were there, and both of us spread across. He started another firm, and I didn't want to start for another firm for some time. So I thought, let me go. And fortunately, that also became like a startup where I'm only managing most of it along with the founder.
Very nice.
So that's the professional stint.
And how far is it from Ajmera office?
Quite far. It's 24-25 kilometers.
If it's 24-25, how come you still prefer staying in Ajmera?
Even if it is 40 kilometers, I still prefer staying in Ajmera.
Why is that?
This is the discussion which we have weekly once at home. Nobody talks against it because Ajmera is a place where you have a lot of friends like family, and every day it's like on top of your toes. Be it cricket, or football, or dancing, or walking, running, badminton. Who gives this? Where in Bangalore, where on earth do you get to be so active,
I agree. And I understand, like, you are would you consider yourself primarily a footballer or a cricketer? I think that's the opinion for most of the other cricketers as well. That you are primarily, and so about Ajit also. He's primarily a footballer. So are you, a footballer. But talking a bit about Ajmera cricket. Okay, I'm going to talk about football as well because, of course, at the end of the day, it's all part of the community.
Right.
But keeping it limited to our football audience and our football team member, cricket team members, what does Ajmera cricket mean to you on a personal level?
On a personal level, it is something which brings the best out of you, not just in a sports wise, mentally also. When you lose, you're so angry, you're so irritated, you go back home, you want to break things, but you just want to keep that calmness, So when I'm just very calm, there are 100 things running in my head how to deal now. Especially when I'm losing, okay, keep yourself calm, next one we'll see, It just mentally makes me very strong.
And that's
very competitive as well.
That's very ironical because I've never seen you having any outburst on the field or anything, because you in general, Raman Paji, there are a few people who maintain their cool pretty much all the times. So I have not seen that much from your side.
It's all within, but again, I take everything on me. When a team doesn't win, I am captaining or owner, I take everything on me.
Correct.
I could have probably done this better.
So this side of yours, so last tournament I know you had posted your picture in the swimming pool and everything. That was one way of basically calming yourself down. But I have known and Ankit Bhai would be fun to talk to about all these topics because he carries that for a long period and everything. He gets very emotionally affected by it. But in just terms of building friends, having better equation, like one person just comes to the field and all of a sudden, he's friends with 100 people, 50 people just by participating in a tournament. It's so easy to connect with everybody just through one tournament, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And it does. So, Acha, tell me this thing about in the last tournament and everything. This topic has to be discussed, okay? And I think everybody wants to hear a bit of peace about it. So, what happened about having Anirudh Jain aka Ashibhai? DK, what happened there? Because I know a lot of people definitely were not happy, particularly after he won. He was in the MVP and everything, in top 2. He was the best scorer, best batsman, best bowler, MVP and everything. So what really happened there, and what is your take on that?
See, now this is the second time this is happening to me. First time, again, Yogesh had an emergency. Picked Yogesh. So they didn't.
This is which tournament?
This is just 2021.
Okay.
Independence.
Okay.
I had formed a good team. And we went, I think, till finals or semis
okay.
probably. So had Yogesh didn't play the entire tournament. Just before the tournament, he had an emergency, which is understandable. Life does not revolve around tournament.
Correct.
They have their own personal. So I asked for a replacement, so which I didn't get it.
At
so
that
I was cool with it.
Okay.
So I don't really, check more on that. However, the next tournament, a similar thing happened to someone else. I am for it. So you have to give a replacement. I said I was one of the first fellows to vote. Yes, please do it. Though I didn't get it. This next tournament, this happens now again.
Correct.
I think it's fair to give a replacement. If there's no replacement, they can probably fetch another one. Like to like, of course.
But though how do you find a like to like?
I will tell you. I also found Richie and Anirudh Jain. Now, whom will anybody pick? So it is Jain.
Correct.
So I put him down. I said, okay, fine, let me see. I nominated Anirudh. Now again, replacement has to be given. Otherwise,
Correct.
there's no point playing.
Correct.
I took you because I know your batting will explode. Bowling can be taken care at least. To a certain level, considering Santosh was there.
Correct.
Now, if batting doesn't explode, where are we going to score?
Correct.
There's no point participating.
Correct.
There I was quite stern this time, and of course Anirudh was not Anirudh Singh was quite understanding. Though many captains, I understand. Then I had to check with them personally.
But having said that, first of all, he became a member of the team before playing any match. before playing any match. It wasn't like in the mid of the tournament or anything. He became a member of the team before the tournament, and it is my understanding that all the captains agreed to it. It was a unanimous decision, right?
Yeah,
like everybody pretty much agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Out of good faith, yeah.
Do you think you would have done the same, or would have agreed to it had it been a replacement for any other team?
Yeah, anybody. Yeah.
You would have done the
Without
same.
second thought, yes.
So
Because I understand, no, I've gone through that. A captain should not feel that because of this I lost my tournament.
correct. You should have at least some replacement, and if Anirudh Jayant was not available, if somebody else was also available, you would have picked him up anyway,
Right.
right? Because you at least wanted your 12 members to be on team. Because anyway, you cannot ascertain the availability of most of the players for any given
Right.
match anyway. And you actually play 11. Acha,
That was only 11.
That was only 11.
It was, yes.
That was only 11. So how about your learnings from the last tournament?
It's not always the top players wins you the game.
I agree.
So last year, Independence Cup, Abhishek and what's his name? Arjun.
Uh-huh.
They won us the game. Arjun went for 20,000 or something.
Correct.
20k player. While I still had a 50-60k player in, and I didn't do jack.
Yeah, I noticed that about you. You're bowling much less.
Yeah.
Do you think once you become a owner or captain, you undersell yourself in the team?
No, utilization.
Underplay yourself, not undersell, but underplay yourself.
Yeah, I trust my players. Utilization of.
But what if other captain, is it better to play as a owner or a captain, or sometimes it's better to let the other captain be there, because I know that he's gonna trust me more than I am trusting myself.
No. That's exactly why I started becoming a captain. Initially, for I think many tournaments, I wasn't captaining myself, nominating myself.
Correct.
Because I thought maybe I can be used up in the front, like opening.
Correct.
I used to go down,
Correct. Yeah.
Use me in the last 2 overs, 3 overs.
So for me personally, I found that was one of the best move you ever made when you started opening the innings.
Right.
Because there is this mentality, you want to preserve, you're one of the better batsmen down the order and everything. It doesn't work. I really don't think it works, and depends on person to person also, because I genuinely feel that AK perhaps, this is my opinion, that AK perhaps often gets out in his first over at long on or long off in his very first over, but that is once in a while. But once he goes basically blasting off, sometimes in 3 overs the score will be 50. And basically the game is won within those first 3 overs and for most of the time. So I do think, because I had this huge conversation with Shashwat also. Shashwat, Sumit Paji, they also believe in this thing, what, if you have the best batsman in your team, he should be given maximum bowls to face as well. Because then he has the highest probability of scoring the highest number of runs also. So I think that was a brilliant move. I think that was a brilliant move of you opening, and I would actually say that don't change that for anything. Keep it like that. I would. That is my opinion. But of course, depends on the match to match basis and everything. So tell me a bit about auctions. How was the auction prep this time around? How much time did it actually go into auction prep? You don't really prepare.
But I just look at the availability of players. That there's no, because it's not possible. If I want somebody, I have to pick. If I have to pick, then I'll have to shell out a lot.
Okay.
So it depends on the situation. I just go with a gut feeling. At that point, there's no preparation. I don't think so. It happens also.
How was the auction experience this time around?
Oh, it was good, because I was quite sorted. I had the least money, I think 72,000 or something.
Okay.
And I wanted to pick one big player. And rest all average. But I managed to pick 2 big players.
Correct. Who are they?
Tandon and Abhay.
Tandon and Abhay, right? Correct. And I think that you got them for a very good price also.
Yeah.
You got them for a very good price, because you are there. Shashwat is there. Yogesh is there. Tandon is there. Abhay Raj,
Again, 6 players, 6 bowlers.
Exactly.
10 overs, 6 bowlers,
Exactly.
And you 6 people getting out is very unlikely.
You thought of basically somehow getting Anirudh back?
Yeah, I thought, but then I could have used RTM for him. So again, I keep thinking about it. Maybe I could have used RTM for him. Now, what if he goes for 33? Then I would have had to compromise on one of these two players.
Correct.
And I don't know how Annie is now fitness-wise. So I would love to play with him. Because I had to choose, and he used it already.
He is with
something.
I think he's with Shubh now, I guess.
No.
With Sandy. He's with Sandy. He's with Sandy. 30. He went for
30.
around 30 and all that. Let's see how he basically comes back as an opposition now. He was like a vital clog in your entire Tony last time around. You know, like he was very critical. Acha, so you think auction-wise there was any person who you would consider like was kind of an undersell?
No, I don't give it much thought to this, honestly.
No undersell. Any oversell guy, you think?
No, everybody went in that more or less the 60 range only, right?
More or less around
all the big players.
more or less around this thing. Now, a lot. One of the key changes from last tournament to this tournament is about the chucking. What is your take on that?
I will still go with Cyan
Okay.
to open the ball because he was unplayable.
Okay.
Now again, if they raise, they raise.
Okay. But what is your stance? Should it be allowed or not allowed?
No, it should not be allowed.
It should not be allowed.
But otherwise, it's people can do it purposely, right? Some don't do it purposely.
Correct.
Then this allows the other player also to do it purposely.
Correct.
Deliberately, if you do that, then it spoils the.
And what if the person is bowling slow or fast? Does it matter or
It
it's?
doesn't matter. It's about the intent. It's not about the pace. In fact, if he's chucking fast with a pace, it's easier to hit.
Okay.
I will not raise that concern if somebody's chucking.
Right.
But the intent is wrong. Intent is to chuck. It should not be allowed. Be it slow or fast. In Cyan's also, every decision last time leg umpire gave, we didn't, go and fight against it. I said, okay, fine. At least I didn't. I said, okay, if you're saying it, let me change or ask him to bowl a slower. Now this time, considering video is there, one ball, if they say Cyan's chucking, then he's out. Probably I'll use him for batting. He's a good batsman as well.
Exactly. So it makes sense. Having said that, I'm gonna do a small quick round. I'm gonna call it a chaka check round. Okay. So I'm gonna name a few players and you tell me, because there's still a lot of here and there about whether or not these people chuck or not, or whether their action is clean or not. So I'm gonna name a few people, you tell me whether they chuck or not from your stance.
Yeah, of course.
Or they can chuck whenever they want to. Rahul Manchanda.
Chucks.
Kamlesh.
No, not really.
Raghubai.
Chucks.
Vishal.
At times. Vishal is very debatable.
Okay.
Debatable.
Shashwat.
No. Definitely not.
Anirudh Singh.
No.
Akbar.
Yes.
Sandy Guju.
Yes.
Sayan.
Yes.
Vaibhav Mishra.
Vaibhav.
Praveen Singh.
Yes.
So I'm gonna quickly ask you a few questions, and you try and basically answer the first name which pops into your head. These are the easy ones. Tell me one player you can play any match with, in any game, as a
Together
teammate.
or opponent?
As a teammate.
As a teammate, yeah. Everybody has
Tell me one person.
One person. Shashwat.
Shashwat, you can play any game with us.
Yeah.
Acha, one person, one teammate who gives maximum gyan on the field.
Maximum gyan. Ankit.
Ankit, okay. One bowler you think is the best, you would avoid facing him.
Avoid facing him, is it? Raman is good.
One batsman you would avoid bowling to.
Raj. He just knows my line and length.
Who do you think is the best fielder in Ajmera cricket?
Best?
Fielder.
Abhay can be a best fielder.
And best wicket keeper?
Best wicket keeper can be. It can be Sandy Guju. Does well.
Sandy Guju, huh?
Does well. Very quick he is.
Who do you think at this time around has the strongest team on paper?
Honestly, I don't know about other teams. I don't even have a look at it.
You didn't even have a look at it.
No. I think I have a good team.
Okay.
I think I have a good team.
And who do you think could be perhaps the weakest team on the paper? You still don't know.
No, I really have no idea.
Okay.
So I know a little bit of Sandeep Dargar's team. Rohit Bagade is there, another few. But so, I'm not too sure if Raman's team is strong or weak. I think Dhavalbhai is there, Raman is there, Santosh as a bowler is there, and I don't know any other explosive players.
In Raman Paji's team.
Vishal is there, yes.
Vishal is there also in Raman Paji's team.
It is not as strong as what they were last time.
Okay, you think so?
I think.
That's what you think. Okay. Tell me one memory from last tournament.
Cannot be erased for the next 10 years. 4 runs we could not score in the last over. Anirudh just, he made, he just couldn't handle that. He thought one shot, and all 6 balls went like that. The situation, he could not handle it. He could have handled it better, but it's okay.
I guess.
I'm sure, you see, as a captain or as a player, as a teammate, we felt very bad. But from his point of view, it is terrible.
I can imagine.
For days.
I can imagine.
So
I can imagine.
You should not say you could have done this, you should have done this. Hey,
correct.
You won us still here, so that's
correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Correct. Who do you think had the best bowling figures in the last tournament? Or best bowling attack you had seen in the last tournament? Your team. Which particular bowler, in which innings? Was it Shashwat? Was it Yogesh?
Yogesh took 5 wickets in 2-3 matches.
2-3 matches.
At least 5 wickets. Shashwat gave 2 runs in 1 critical over, and Santosh, he was an amazing bowler. He didn't get enough chance. See, I didn't debate with my captain. It's captain's call. When I nominate him as a captain, I have to respect every view of his.
I admire that, huh?
Yeah. So I did not interfere once saying, hey, you have to give him bowling. Once, whenever he asks me, it's me or him, then I'll tell my opinion. Otherwise, it's completely. And he won us till finals. And Santosh could have been used better, I think.
Okay.
He got very little chance and he did very well.
With whatever limited opportunity he got.
He did fantastic.
And who do you think in the last tournament had the best batting innings? You saw, you faced, or was it your teammate who had the best batting? Shashwat. Against?
Sandeep Dargar's team.
Sandeep
He was over, I think, 4 sixers.
Okay, he scored around 60-70 in that match, right?
Yeah. In 1 over, he scored about 26, 27.
Who do you think is actually right now in the current tournament, who's the most destructive batsman right now around?
Destructive can be again Akbar on his prime days. He's like you said, first 3 overs 50 and done. Rest everything just
Correct.
Yeah, Akbar is good. Dhaval can, if he comes up, he can be destructive. Again, Shashwat is there, and rest all on their prime days.
On their prime days, right? Tell me one thing. This is one question I'm asking. Which is the biggest six you have seen in Ajay?
Last time, Abhay was terrible to bowl to.
Really, Abhay Raj?
Abhay Raj, he was good.
He is in. Yeah. I think in past a couple of years I have seen him primed like peak at his line.
Was the best I've seen. Yeah, I'm sure.
He's hitting it like he's hitting like crazy, and there is more power also.
Correct.
His shots go further also.
And Kripansh came to form a little later.
But the way
he did,
not in the tournament, but I've seen him hitting even on the weekends and all that. He's playing around with bowlers. Yeah, I think.
I think he came back to form a little later part of the tournament. Had it been from the initial days, single-handedly would have, take them to the finals at least.
I mean, it's this one leg shot he was and Thak say it's going like long distances. I am actually looking out for him. So, having said that, these long sixes, which is the biggest six you have seen in any tournament in Ajmera? Hit by whom?
Not sure. See, I said no, I don't focus much on this. Once I hit one long one, they said it was a bigger one.
Where did it go?
It went till the Q block, that other side.
That side, no? Correct. But it goes, right? You do think about it. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that was nice. Chalo, I'm gonna quickly take a Your pick, I'm gonna name 2 players. You pick one of them, okay, as your teammate. Between Shubh and Shashwat.
Shashwat.
Okay. And between yourself and Dhaval.
Dhawan.
Manocha Tandon.
Tandon.
Tamra AK.
AK. He bowls and bats.
Vikas Paji, Raman Paji.
Tough one. I'd go with Vikas.
Vishal Ajit.
Ajit.
Arjun Srivastav or Suyash.
Arjun.
Kripansh Siddhant.
Siddhant.
Chirag Sandy Guju.
Chirag.
Kamlesh RB.
Arbi.
Sandeep Dargar Sumit Paji.
Sumit Paji.
Abhishek Sharma Devendra.
Abhishek. Oh, Devendra, no? I have not played with Devendra yet.
Okay.
I'll still go with Abhishek.
Raj Abhay Raj.
Raj or Abhay Raj. Abhay.
Anirudh Singh, Anirudh Jayant.
Never played with Anirudh Singh, so Anirudh Singh.
Okay. Dinesh Kuti, Amit Gupta.
Dinesh Kuti, Amit Gupta, Dinesh Kuti.
Vaibhav Kostav.
Vaibhav, I played with him.
Ankit Piplani, Shalin Bhai.
Ankit Piplani, Shalin Bhai. Actually, Shalin Bhai. But why Ankit? I'll tell you. Why you want to play with Ankit? Because I've told this to him also. I can use Ankit better in my team, and Ankit uses himself
in the team. Okay.
Yeah, he can be used much better.
Okay.
He doesn't realize that.
And I'm gonna ask you another one. Between you and Yogesh.
Me.
Shajir Bhai and Chetiana.
Shajir Bhai.
Paddy and Jun.
Paddy.
So I'm gonna wrap this up by asking a quick one. Who do you see as the finalist this tournament? Final predictions.
Final predictions. It's Toofan versus. It can be Sandeep Dargar.
Sandeep Dargar, huh?
Yeah, they are my boys. I consider Arjun and this guy Abhishek as my boys.
Okay.
Last time we all won together and they're phenomenal. And they took off from there, I think.
Okay.
Because I took them for about 10,000. Yeah, after that they took off.
A lot of predictions actually are going Sandeep Dargar's teams way.
Is it?
A lot of are actually going. One team you would definitely want to beat this tournament.
Every team, yeah.
Arey, one team you definitely want to beat.
Last, like I don't know the players, the captains. Last time, if one team I had to, win against was Ankit because they had not lost.
Last time around, you wanted to beat Ankit Bhai ka team. What any particular reason behind it? Other than that, the fact that Ankit Bhai had not lost any game.
Yeah, no, just a validation. What if Sid comes back in the finals? I don't know his availability. So I can't go and check also. So it's better to take when there is a chance, you use that.
Okay.
You have to make the best of one opportunity.
Okay, so you actually lost the game so that you can go and beat Ankit so you do not have to face him in the finals.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And I remembered that day because my Ankit Bhai se basically when I was talking to Ankit Bhai, of course he was down. He was down and out and he was like really this thing that Siddhant was not there. He was pretty much any person would feel that, but he and Siddhant have a different equation. Whatever comes, he wants Siddhant.
I know.
Either he wants Siddhant or he wants Shashwat. He wants either one of them. Earlier it used to be Santosh. Siddhant and Shashwat. He has something with
Dev
S.
as well.
And Dev as well, huh?
Yes.
Dev actually went for a pretty good price this time around. He went for 58.
He's worth it, definitely.
He went for 58 for Shettyana. Shettyana is very happy with this thing. So tell me one team you have your scores unsettled or one team you would like to definitely beat this time around.
That's exactly what I don't have. Because I don't have anything against or even in the game, right? Nothing goes wrong with me. So it's okay. So it's not that this team I have to win. I come only to win. Irrespective, trust me, I don't know the schedules whom I'm playing with.
Okay.
Until that morning when I come. or one of my players says, hey, tomorrow is a strong team, tomorrow is a weak team. I don't do that homework.
Acha, you don't.
When I enter the field, only I know who my opponent is.
Acha, tell me. So we were talking a bit about this allotting the base price
Right.
for a particular owner or captain. That we are talking about this. So what are your inputs on that?
I think, see, if a captain comes, he wants to nominate himself as a captain, and people think, it's not on the same par, then, see, I'll put across in a better way. For example, there are 15 captains who are nominating themselves. People choose 8. And in that, captain is a captain. Okay? Now, in that, you say 5,000 I'll deduct for this player and 20,000 I deduct for this player. I think somehow that's not fair. Why?
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, OCs do a lot and they only decide all this. I don't question this thing, but I question how do you choose the caliber? Because 5K or 10K for Ankit he's a better player now. Definitely. He's revamped and he's, he can be, like I told you, he can be destructive at times.
No, definitely that there is a merit in that argument, because tell me one person who goes at the exact same auction price every time. It doesn't work that way, right?
Work that way at all.
One person sometimes goes for like 40, 50. I remember one time AK went for 50, 60 also. He has went for 60 also. This time around he went for 9K.
Correct.
Forget about the availability and everything.
No, when he's available, he's gone for 12 because he came at the last.
Exactly. Even when how do you? There's a fair merit in that argument. That how do you determine a fixed number and that doesn't change for an entire year, because Ankit has been performing well.
Yes.
So his should have been better than 5K.
Right. No, that was an example. I really don't know.
No.
And so it beat Sandeep Dargar. He's smashing it.
And how much?
It out.
What did they put him for his base
I think
price?
he's lesser than me.
How much?
And I did Jack last time. I did Jack.
तो संदीप भाई आपका प्राइस बढ़ना चाहिए, ओसी लोग संदीप भाई का प्राइस बढ़ाओ यार.
So in that sense, if you are coming to be a captain, then everybody is equal. There is no seesaw game there.
Correct.
If you're a captain and everybody is equal, is my take or my opinion. So I've always fought for this actually, And there are,
अच्छा, so we were discussing this just a minute ago and all that. अब एक बात बताओ कि you nominated yourself as the owner. Okay, now you became it's the so-called title of owner. Basically, you are heading the franchisee, more like you are heading the franchisee model and everything. But what's your role now? Because you are not the captain. The captain is taking over the management of the team and he is deciding who's going to bat and bowl. The captain gets to basically speak about what has happened in the team, what's going on and everything.
Absolutely.
He is the managing the team. So other than the fact that you are part of the auction, what is your role as an owner? Or how because if you had to not be the owner franchisee model, you would have been the captain.
Right.
If you're the captain, you're basically managing.
I would have had a bigger role to play. Right?
Exactly. And now if you do not if you decide to be a captain yourself, then it's gonna raise some eyebrows. Okay, they would have made you a captain anyway. But now you have become an owner, so you cannot be the captain. You have to nominate somebody. Now, if you try and give better inputs and all that, dude, you're not letting the captain do his own work.
I know.
So what kind of a quandary is this?
I don't know, because after 1 or 2 matches, even I went back home puzzled. What is the owner here? What role does he get to play?
Because, as I said, basically at the end of the tournament, the captain is going to speak about his experiences with the tournament, and captains are basically, and then there are man of the matches and everything.
Right.
But where does the input of an owner or the head of the team comes? Because unlike other franchisee IPL models and everything, Mukesh Ambani or Anand Ambani or these Akash Ambani, they don't play the games, right? They're not part of the team. So all these people, they're not part of the team.
Correct.
That is purely for profit business and everything.
Right.
And had it not been the owner franchisee model, you guys would have been the captains of your team, because you guys had nominated yourself, you guys got the popular vote and everything. That's why you became this thing. So what do you think of this system? Do you think it should carry on in future as well, the same sort of system, or there should be some rules or tweaks that should be bent a bit?
Maybe they can come up with something for the owner. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the maze, I think. I think it's the maze at the end. Whoever wins the most number of matches gets the maze for the owner. But even I don't know what a role the owner plays, because I am someone who will not intervene in a captain's decision. If a captain is there, give him the responsibility and don't put him down by giving him captain, and you can't make him dummy.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. But as a owner, even I went back home thinking, what a owner has to do. But at least they're coming up with some exciting things. That's okay. But the owner, I think it's just
yes. I think so. That's to OCs. I think it's a request that somehow owners should be also given some sort of platform to express their point of view. I guess
maybe
or perhaps something. You guys should basically wonder on that. And if there are a few rules you would like to change in Ajmera cricket as of now, any rule, whether it be a 2D rule or 6 rule or bowling, how many overs a bowler can bowl, any particular rule, is there any rule you would like to basically change in Ajmera cricket as of now?
Nothing. There was one rule which I was fighting for, is that 2D rule.
Okay.
They had taken that 2D off. I think last tournament, last year, 2022, they had taken that the 2D rule which goes up, leg side. So it was just single.
Okay.
I was like, there is where I hit for all my 2Ds.
You have become like everybody is talking about how Melwin stands like this only. Every ball has to go on one side, leg side only.
Easier. So I was fighting for it. Generally, I don't voice my opinion because OCs are thinking through a lot of things. One opinion will make the world a better place. One less opinion. So for that I had to, because that's exactly where I hit. You can't be considering one that.
So now it is 2D now?
Yeah, now it's 2D.
Now it is 2D. Any other changes you propose?
No,
you would propose?
Really. No, not really.
In the final, what was your team discussion after
losing?
Not necessarily after not being on the winning side of things and all that.
See, at that time there's no point discussing anything. You just have to appreciate everyone for their roles. And he was already beating himself up. His face had changed, his morale had gone down, and of course people have struggled to come till here. Everybody's morale is down, but at that time you can't rub salt on the wound.
Correct.
You have to only encourage and say thank you for bringing this far. They might feel good. At the end of the day, only those 20 overs we are fighting against each other within ourselves. After that we all are friends here. Yeah, by saying one small harsh word will remain in their head or heart. Yeah, and again they're not going to come out of it so easily. I'm sure Annie today also you talk about is like shit, man. We don't get
I agree.
And going back to your question, why Ajmera? Your work is 24 kilometers away, right? Tournament is starting 13th. Already we don't have that sleep.
Yes.
We don't get good sleep. It's like, okay, 30 more days. How do we prepare ourselves? Yeah, should we practice? Should we call the team? So this goes on not during the tournament, before and after the tournament. There's a lot of discussion about it.
I personally think that, and tell me if you think that way, that somehow how Ajmera cricket is played, it shows a lot of an individual character also.
Absolutely.
A person's individual character also.
Absolutely.
Like how, at the end of the day, I think these are small, tiny bit of competitions in life where you kind of show yourself more as a, as a fighter. More as a fighter. It has nothing to do with pretty much the opposition or anything. I think it is, in a way, my way of living life. Isn't it? Like this is how I want to live my life. And I'm not talking about particularly like if a person is extremely talented or not, that person. It's about how you face on with the challenges you throw on. It basically goes to that fundamental level of things, that in movies and all that they used to show that why sports is important to building character of a person and everything. Don't you think like a sports person has a better way of handling things in life?
Definitely, it's the character what we show on the field reflects off field as well. You have to be a fighter here.
Correct.
now this is little too much. Life throws a lot of challenges.
Correct.
You can't, if you're a fighter here, the same character carries on there.
Correct. I think it's about the character.
Yeah,
it's about the character, and it doesn't matter whether you're like. I can for sure tell you, like, there are multiple players who are not perhaps one of the best hitters of the ball or one of the best bowlers or fielders, but you can see their passion on the field that they're giving their 100%.
Right. Yes. Come what may.
Like a brief example would be Shalin Bhai.
Absolutely.
Shalin Bhai could be one of the examples that he may not be the biggest hitter of the ball, or he may not be the fastest bowler, but when he comes onto the field, he brings in so much of energy to the field. He wants to rally around everybody, and he wants to basically, bring in, because this is how I lead.
Right.
This is how I basically
what
do
he brings
things.
to the table is much more than what he contributes to the.
Correct, and it doesn't matter. Same thing with Ankit also. It doesn't matter whether he is the highest run getter of the tournament and everything. But when he comes on the field, he wears his heart on his sleeves, and he's like, you know what? I'm here to win. Because that's how I want to see my life as. That's how I want to basically approach my life as.
Right.
And I think that's what people somehow think, that people are getting personal about it.
It is personal. Once you
It is personal, no? In a way, it is a bit personal, right? But it has nothing personal against you.
Yeah, right.
It has nothing personal against you. It is just like, that's how I am.
It reflects, personally it reflects, when you go, when I lose, I don't go and stay at home because I sulk, I'm angry, I'm irritated. Of course, it's not shown outside, within me.
Correct.
So I end up going for dinners.
Correct.
Every match I've lost, I've not been home. I take my wife. So at times my wife thinks, oh, it's okay, losing is cool. Works for best for us.
Explaining it to wives is also very tough now.
And after the finals, I just couldn't sit 10 minutes at home. Said, let's go out for lunch. It's like it's okay, let's go out, but so had to have a good time to take that out of our head.
Tell me something. I'm gonna ask you about this thing. Okay, our partners, our life partners, or our people around, they believe that, what is it? Why you want to change your schedule for something? Why do you want to get up early? Why do you want to do this? For a local tournament, for just a tournament which is basically being played in residential tournament. Like, I'll tell you by example. So when I hurt my ankle, when I pulled out of this thing, so a day before this thing, so I went to this orthopedic and everything. So he's like, you heard him. I'm like, doc, just fix me up. I have a tournament coming from next week. So he's asking me, oh, you play Ranji or something? I'm like, dad, no Ranji. Okay, you play first class cricket, you play some international. I'm like, no, it's local by Ajmera tournament only. So he started laughing and all that. I'm like, bro, I cannot explain you.
I know.
What is that? But what do you think? Like right now we're having this conversation. Like you would have seen similar kind of videos where a person is interviewing Virat Kohli on similar kind of a level. Pretty much similar set of things and all that. You're not Virat Kohli, I'm not a huge reporter and everything, but we're still talking about it so passionately,
right?
And we are still basically treating, despite that not being your main bread earner, that is not being this thing, but still being so passionate about it. What is your answer to those people who take Ajmera cricket as just another cricket? Or just
I've explained this to my friends, and my family is now aligned. They come and watch. They are watching over the phone when they're not. So the answer to this is Virat Kohli and we. Let's assume we, or let me talk about myself, me, or every cricketer rather. It will become boasting otherwise. I wouldn't say 1 gram we have less passion, less interest, or that strive to win than Virat Kohli. The scale is different. Of course, the scale is different, but not the intent, not the passion, not that commitment to win. 1 gram, it's not lesser when you are on the field. So there is no difference between them and us. The scale is different. The money, there's no money also. Still, see how much time we put in, how much effort we put in. We don't do that outside for anything. So that's exactly what sports does to people. The scale is different, but not the intent, the commitment, the passion.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, when people try to substitute their passion with excuses, like the same thing. We are not in comparison to vis-a-vis any professional player who's playing on international level or on those platforms. But what matters is the passion and how you basically approach life towards and all that. Same thing in Ajmera also. Every person may not be on that top level of things, but I think I'm gonna say this to everybody, that I understand everybody wants an opportunity to be basically given and everything, but trust me, everybody had an opportunity. Everybody gets an opportunity. Today, if somebody is basically valued at 50 or people are going bonkers over bidding it, because he had the opportunity and he proved himself.
Right.
He had the opportunity and he proved himself. And sometimes when you initially come to Ajmera, when I came to Ajmera, probably for 3 months I did not even get to bat or bowl. I was only used to get to basically field. So at that point of time I was like, at least let me show myself as the best fielder on the team. That I am really into the game. I am there for this thing. Because the moment I'll get my chance, eventually everybody is gonna show. It is not like weekend cricket. There is a platform where everybody gets to bat, bowl. The order is changed and everything. There is kind of like captains want to ensure that everybody is getting their field and everything. But at the end of the day, I think as a team owner or anything, I think it's about a person's belief in himself and how he approaches life. You may not necessarily be the biggest hitter, you may not necessarily be the best fast bowler, but just how you be a part of the team.
Right. What you bring there.
What you bring there as a team and everything. And passion doesn't mean giving a lot of gyan. I don't think it doesn't necessarily mean.
It's not.
But it's about just sticking around. Just sticking around and being there. Because you know what? Eventually, when it comes up the next time, people want to play with the same guy. Even if he does not really bringing a lot into the team, the fact that he's there every match,
doing your role,
he's trying to be participant, active, and you can just see it, that this person is trying.
Right.
Sometimes that person may not perform. It's a cricket. Person gets out on the first ball also. Sometimes Sandeep Dargar plays so well. He got belted for 4 sixes. What did he do? Did he stop playing and all that? It could happen to anybody. Eventually, how you bounce back, and that's how basically it narrates your character also, isn't it?
Right, and absolutely. On this, I also want to ask you a question. Now, you're playing Ajmera cricket after a good long break, right? What is your take? How are you coming to the field? I think you've been an explosive batsman. If I go back to before the break, you've been in the top 5 for the last few tournaments. And that's never spoken about. I saw your stats. In Cricket Heroes, I saw your stats. It's never spoken about. Always you've been in the top 5 as a batsman.
I'm not in the top 5. I would say I also monitor myself more in the top 10. But in the strike rate, probably in the top 5 in terms of hitting and all that. But I kind of understood here, because I think, and I say this, I think Ajmera Cricket Cup talent pool has increased multi-fold over past 3-4 years.
Right.
Initially, there were like 3 or 4 years ago, I would consider myself to be in the top hitters and everything. I really do not consider that anymore, because I genuinely believe there's so many better years. The pool has it busted out here. I see so many people. They're just standing there, top. There's the ball is going and hitting the just fresh point cut terrace every time. Earlier, there were very few limited people who actually had the capability to actually hit the long ones or basically hit any bowler. And I think today, 80% of the people who play Ajmera cricket can hit anybody for a 6.
Right.
80% of the people, the talent is enormous, yeah. So I myself, I do not rate, in current scheme of things, I do not rate myself very high as a cricketer at this point of time.
Since you're coming after a long time, do you want to come prove to yourself that, I can pull this off?
I get very emotional about it. It's like me, Shalin Bhai, Ranjan, Ankit, these people were very emotional about it. We get very passionate about it. And one of the things I was speaking the other day is like you can channel your emotions in a particular way. And at some point of time, I had channeled my emotion in a different way, like more towards setting myself up and everything in towards this thing, because how I used to be towards cricket, that's not the same kind of this thing. But every tournament you approach, every match you want to play, of course, you want to really do your best and everything, because personally I will tell you this thing. So I don't know if this is as wrong as it sounds. Sometimes, you want to play to just prove yourself.
Right.
I know you are a team,
Yeah.
you are in a part of the team. Sometimes you just want to prove to yourself that do you still belong here. So there was this Dinesh ka team and everything. I went for my base price. I went for 2,000. So I was like, हमने कहा यार. So my name came later on and everything. But I was like, यार. हमने कहा ठीक है, nobody even bid for me and everything. So in that tournament I hit that 50. In that tournament only, that was against Ankit and all
I
that.
remember you did, yeah.
So that was that plastic ball card and everything.
I lost
plastic
that
bat card
tournament
and
because of that bat.
everything.
Sandy Guju hit us the last for Raniro Jayanti. Yes, I remember.
And that thing. So I'll tell you, eventually when we lost that game, although I really thought ki we are going to win this one. Eventually, even your best innings and all that, if you do not win, it takes off charm from that.
Yeah.
After that innings, no, you come back. No, you know what, Ashi? At least you made a point to yourself.
Right.
But yeah, look at this. Like once we decide to play in a tournament, we pretty much book an entire month. We book an entire month. We cannot go on any weekends.
Right.
We cannot go on any wickets. We cannot have any commitments.
No chance.
And particularly if you are the owner and the captain,
Right,
that becomes even more tricky and everything. And forget about the match day. How much time goes off the field?
I know. You just have to. Yeah, though I don't do homework. Like I told you, I don't know the opponents also. But I know what I have to do, what my players have to do. For that time goes, and the excitement. It's just excitement. I don't.
You get calls off the field?
No, not really.
No, you don't get calls and all that to strategize. But if they catch you somewhere on the ground, then for half an hour, 45 minutes, there's a discussion what needs to get done.
When I just don't sleep well the previous night, be it football or cricket. That it's the excitement. It's just an excitement. Oh, tomorrow match. Oh, then I see the time 3 o'clock in the morning, then 5 o'clock in the morning.